China, what images pop into your head? A giant panda? The Great Wall? Chinese New Year fireworks? Either way, it's not likely to be a church or a mosque. China is a secular state. No surprise then that China has a population of people who say belong to no religion. But does no religion mean no moral code? Confucianism isn't a religion. It has no gods, and doesn't promise an afterlife. But for 2,500 years, the teachings of Confucius have profoundly affected the morals and behaviour of Chinese people. Confucianism holds that humans are fundamentally good and can improve through their own efforts. It lays emphasis on acting morally and treating others with compassion. It sees the family as the foundation stone of community, and a harmonious society as the greatest good. Chinese citizens have the constitutional right to follow a religion if they wish, and many religions have emerged and flourished here. Taoism is said to have been founded by Lao Tzu. It promotes the unity of opposites, spiritual virtue, and self-development. Many Taoist sayings have become famous around the world. Without darkness, there can be no light. A journey of 1,000 miles starts under your feet. Taoism has influenced China's ancient folk religions. Their festivities are still a major feature of Chinese life. Take Tomb Sweeping Festival, where ancestors are venerated and remembered, and Dragon Boat Festival, which commemorates the death of an ancient poet and minister. Both are now national holidays and celebrated by families across the country. Other major religions have arrived from outside China, evolving and adapting to become their own unique Chinese versions. Buddhism arrived in waves over the last 2,000 years along the Silk Road, over the Himalayas from India, and from Southeast Asia. As a result, Chinese Buddhism is a unique blend of different schools mixed with folk religion and Taoism. Buddhism has had a strong influence on Chinese thought and culture, and is the most popular religion in China today. With more than 220,000 monks and nuns, and hundreds of millions of people who believe in Buddhism. Islam arrived in China with Arab traders and diplomats in the 7th century. Tang Dynasty Emperor Tai Zong immediately made the welcoming gesture of building China's first mosque, which still stands in Guangzhou. Today Muslims are distributed through China, especially in areas inhabited by ethnic minorities, like the Hui, who speak Mandarin and live mainly in the north and west. China is a multi-ethnic, multi-religious civilization, and there are around 23 million Chinese Muslims. The rise of Christianity is the real surprise. Christians first settled in China as early as the 700s, but numbers were small until the 20th century. Today, it's growing fast, with around tens of millions of Chinese Christians. In terms of belief, Chinese Christianity is the same as Christianity elsewhere, but the church administration is handled independently by the Chinese authorities. Despite this long-standing religious diversity, China has never suffered the cataclysm of religious wars. There's a history of religious tolerance here going back at least 1,000 years. In Quanzhou, Fujian, Taoists, Buddhists, Muslims and Christians have lived side by side for generations. The city's long history of trade and immigration created a tolerant, cosmopolitan and prosperous community. As China is a country where there's freedom of religious belief, no one is forced to follow or give up a religion. The government offers equal public services and social security, whether citizens are believers or not. For example, all monks and nuns in Xizang now get a basic living allowance, health insurance, and a pension. In some places, the government has put regulations in place to support the production of halal food. Annually, aided by a medical team, more than 14,000 Chinese Muslims make the pilgrimage to Mecca. So when you think of China now, do some different images come into your mind?
China, a nation in the remote East, has been attracting the world to her 5,000-year history and civilization. People come to trace her antiquity, but are more amazed by her unique creativity. They say she is the epitome of elegance and fashion. Your curiosity is sure to draw you in. There are a bunch of questions to ponder. Is China old enough to undergo 21 dynasties? How can she seriously cook the most delicious food in the world? How can she make the emperor's mansions and the folks' old houses clearly symbolic? How could her Peking operas and kung fu be so popular with the world? Moreover, her literature, art, religion, and even philosophy are so profound that they have become a luxury people all over the world yearn to learn about and experience, and more.
Chinese embroidery goes back over.
Here is the Grand China. Luckily, there is a channel on MOOC, which will present to you the tapestry of Chinese culture and history in the most lucid way. As long as you can speak English and are willing to spare the time for 4 brief videos, all of your curiosity about China will simply be resolved. Your eyes will be contented with the feast of her beauty, and your brain will shine full of her abundance of wisdom. So let's go with 4 Chinese and American professors to attend a glimpse of Chinese culture.
Welcome to the course, A Glimpse of Chinese Culture.
Okay, are you ready to begin your exciting tour of Chinese culture?